I used to have a coffee company called Crypto Coffee, and I used to try to sell coffee on the internet. It was one of many failed entrepreneurial endeavors that I did. And I broke even just about, and I had three different blends, right? I had Proof of Beans, which was a light roast, I believe. I had Moon Fuel, which was my medium roast, and then I had Satoshi's Vision, which was a dark roast, an espresso roast. I thought people were gonna love a way to actually spend your cryptocurrency because it's peer-to-peer digital cash, and that's what this whole thing was designed for, right? Dead wrong. Nobody wants to spend cryptocurrency. It's not a currency at all. They want to hold it because the number goes up, and everyone's getting rich, right? Everyone wants to get rich, but everyone wants to beat around the bush and hide their desire for more money with digital complexity and this narrative of I'm in it for the tech, right? It's all bullshit. It's okay to want to make money, guys. It's okay to want a better life for yourself. And I think people need to come to terms with that. Well, I'm retired at the age of 28. Now I sit around all day and make YouTube videos. So it's pretty great. I mean, the channel's been blowing up recently. Anecdote, I did a sober month in January where I experimented with being totally sober for 30 days. I put out like a video almost every day, I would say, and the channel blew up from about 9,000 subscribers to now 16,000. It's reaching more view time, 100,000 hours, I think, right now, and YouTube, I'm playing into the algorithm. But it's just crazy how much you can get done when you're not drinking. And that's part of also what HEX teaches is like self-improvement, self-betterment. With the long-term mindset, you gotta stay alive for a while. You gotta stay healthy for a while. And that mindset, it's really easy to fall, especially when you have no job. Right? It's really easy to slip into that chaotic nature that we all have, but me especially. So. I think a lot of times culture is not necessarily your friend. Like it makes you think you have a certain path set out for you, when really it can be the enemy. It can be the suppressor that you're not even realizing that's happening. And you end up somewhere so far off from your creative destiny originally. I think a lot of people are stuck in this rut of what we call the rat race, right? The 9 to 5, working for somebody you hate at a job you don't like to impress people you don't care about until one day they give you enough to retire. And what does that mean? Finding a purpose and finding a bigger meaning and making people financially free with things like HEX and Pulsechain is a way out. It's a purpose, right? Because there's no natural meaning to life or anything, right? You got to kind of invent your own path and invent your own purpose. So that's what I think a lot of people are searching for, which is why when they find HEX, they get so excited about it because it's a group they can all rally behind. And everyone's having fun getting rich together. So what more can you ask for? It's the world's first blockchain certificate of deposit. It's a grassroots organic movement that was aimed to replace Bitcoin as a better store of value. You can get on board or not. I'm not trying to sell you on anything, but the train's leaving the station and you could either be a part of history or you can just watch. Anyway, getting back to Crypto Coffee, ran it for about 2 years unsuccessfully, broke even. Figured I'd keep the name because I had the trademark and it became the channel name because I bought into Richard Hart's narrative. And that's all it is. That's all crypto is a battle of narratives and which idea is gonna be stronger and dominant. And when I saw the narrative of HEX shifting into, I don't know, maybe this is a scam because this fat guy on a throne is talking about getting rich, I had to step in and kind of say, no, I mean, it's actually great. We can all win in this positive sum game. It doesn't have to be, I take from you, I step on your throat in order to achieve more. It's like we can all build ourselves up together. And I think people don't understand the concept of positive sum games versus zero sum games. Trading is a zero sum game. If I am a trader and I'm sitting at the screen all day, I'm trying to take the other person's money on the other side of the screen. There's a winner and a loser, and it's very clear cut. Whereas if you're a long-term investor, you can invest in an idea that everybody else continues to buy into, and the chart goes up and to the right forever, which is what we've seen in every asset.
Who loses then?
Nobody. Everybody gets wealthy together. Look at how far we've come, again, from 1900, for example. The quality of life, even the poorest person today has a better quality of life than the richest person did in 1900. Seriously. Because even in their shitty little apartment, they have a refrigerator and they can go outside and they have a microwave, and they have a TV. Even the invention of TV, as much as it's criticized and everything, a person with no family that's raised on the street can watch TV and actually learn a base level of education from the television via things like language and basic arithmetic and all that kind of stuff. I think we have an often bleak look of the future, but we don't realize how good we actually have it. So stop complaining.
What does it mean to you to be a Hexican?
I think it's a silly name. I remember in the early days, people were talking about what to call themselves, and we landed on Hexicane, and for a while I remember Richard Hart didn't even like it. He didn't want us to be called Hexicans, and eventually the community kind of overtook. And you can't argue with the crowd, right, with the community. So it's funny, Richard, I feel like he created this thing that can't be stopped. It's like an unstoppable force that he could never predict this happening, right? He designed something a certain way, but the community kind of took over as the voice and the driving narrative, right? I kind of highly doubt that the original intention was a cryptocurrency that promotes mental health, right? At first it was all about getting rich, and it still is, right? But getting rich doesn't have to mean you're a billionaire asshole that lives on a castle, sits on a pile of gold and laughs at everybody that's poor, right? Chances are the majority of people are actually not bad. And when you give 90% of the population a couple $1 million, they usually want to give back and pay it forward. So it's been pretty eye-opening that you see the good in a lot of people, and you see that the world isn't that bad of a place. And it's funny, there's a lot of have and have-nots mentality in society, and people like to get mad at people with more money than them. They blame the millionaires or the billionaires for the pain in the world. I haven't found that to be the case at all. I've found becoming a millionaire myself and the people that I know around me pretty much just want everybody to succeed, and the rising tide lifts all ships. Wouldn't you still like an asset where you can invest and make 13% APY for a 1-year stake and 40% APY for a 5-year stake? Like, yes, you would still find that to be a very sound, secure financial vehicle. And so even when the mad gains are over, be it 5 years or 10 years from now, it will reach a point of stability, and we will have to shift the narrative into being more of a secure, safe store of value because it's tried and true and it's been working for so many years. Those people will have missed the life-changing wealth, but they'll still be able to make very sound financial decisions for them and their family in the future. It's still better than the interest that they're paying you at a traditional certificate of deposit in a bank, which can't even beat inflation, right? It's offensive, right? You lock up your money for 5 years, they pay you 1% APY. It's like, go f yourself, dude. Like, I'm not, the traditional financial system is not where it's at, right? You need to recreate the traditional system in a grassroots, decentralized, peer-to-peer manner. And what we know works is the certificate of deposit, right? That works. $7 trillion are locked up in CDs in the US and China alone right now. This is clearly the precedent has been set that this works. And people are happy to do it for 1%, for not even beating inflation. It's magic internet money, man. The inflation rate is set by the smart contract code, but our magic internet money is better than the government's magic internet money because the government has control of the inflation rate, and their money printer can go burr at any rate they want. Jerome Powell can print as much money and debase your hard-earned dollar as much as he wants to, or as much as they want to, the powers that be. Whereas when you're buying HEX, you know that the inflation rate is hard-coded into the product. The code can't lie, numbers can't lie. Unless 2 + 2 becomes 5 tomorrow, you know that you're gonna be able to get this much inflation by locking for this many days in HEX. People like to say, oh, well, you need more buyers to make the price go up. Yeah, duh. So does your house, so does your Tesla stock, so does everything that ever exists. So the more people you get it in front of that know about it, the more people can get in. You're unlocking opportunity. You're not forcing it down anyone's throat. They're doing a better job than the Americans are at promoting HEX. Face-to-face, word of mouth is really the best way to market anything. I just sit behind a screen all day, with a camera in my face. They're the ones out there doing the actual legwork and talking to real people and shaking hands. That goes much farther than anything else. Yeah, you can build trust and rapport on a YouTube channel, and it's easy to pay for an ad or a billboard, but driving a pink and yellow Audi around the country and talking to people, there's billionaires here, and they don't like to talk about it, but I talked to a couple billionaires earlier. Like, these aren't just your average, there's average everyday Joes, and there's billionaires. And HEX is for everybody. Everybody's interested. Everybody wants to know something is happening here, and they want to be a part of it.